Welcome to another Volvo video, and this time I'll be putting it through the MoT test. I've just booked it in for an MoT, which is tomorrow, so I thought I'll give it a quick once over, make sure I don't miss anything obvious. So, oh man, so unlock it. So first thing to do is going to check out lights. So looking good so far. All the side markers are working. So just put the I-beams, or the brights as our American cousins call them. There we go, yep, we've got working I-beams. Shouldn't have to worry about alignment because it's not changed. So just take it off. I better turn off, I don't want a copyright strike. So we'll go for left indicators. Yep, and I can see them working front, back and side markers. And we switch over to the right. Look, yeah, that's on. So yep, we can see them all working. Now, hopefully brake lights should be working. I'll just put you down on the chair. You'll be able to see it, but I won't. I'll be able to see the reflection of the wall. Cancel that right indicator. Put on the brake. You can actually see on the wall, so all three brake lights are working. Just switch the foggies on. Yep, we've got a working fog light there. And our front fogs are working, so that's the lights working fine. So just check screen wash when I don't get squirted by it. Now I've been having problems with the rear because the wiper works, but the rear wash don't work. I don't think that's part of MoT test, so I'm not too worried about that. If I get a chance, I'll have a look at it. So that's obvious stuff. And doors all open. I know doors are open. I'm not too worried about emissions. It had a service, so we should be good in that respect. I'll check tyre. I will check tyre pressures before I put it in. Again, it's not something I'm worried about. Although I did have a tyre pressure down on last year's MoT. My only concern right now is the parking brake, because I don't know, it keeps it's just an absolute bane of my life, and it just doesn't seem to be holding. Now what I started doing is putting it in neutral before applying the parking brake, and I've actually been parking it with the parking brake off. Just put it into park on transmission. Some people would say you're not supposed to do that, but I think the shoes just need adjusting again. So I'll do that off camera. It's not easy to show on camera. Wheel needs to come off, and you get a flat bladed screwdriver to turn the adjusting wheel to move the shoes. You move the shoes in and out to the inside of the disc, which is like your drum on for your parking brake shoes. So that's all I'm worried about. Like I said, I don't think emissions are going to be a problem. We have working lights, we've got working screen, so that's the obvious stuff taken care of. And no, there's no other problems. The glass is fine, so I'll adjust these parking brake shoes off camera. I've been going through my wiring diagrams, factory wiring diagrams that I've printed out, and I think I might have found something here. So there's a relay for the rear window washer motor, not the wiper motor, which is FMI 4, which is there. This is in the, and these 4 fuses appear to be the same. So if I swap it with, say, the horn relay, which I know is working, I could do a swap and see if that fixes the problem. So we'll go out to the car and find these relays. It shows you where it relays. There's your engine support beam there, so it's right next to that. So we'll go out to the car and we'll have a look. Well, I had another look at the wiring diagrams, and I realised that that relay is powered by a fuse. It's fuse 10, which is that one, 10 amp. So I've got my multimeter on diode. It's just a bit hard to show this. Yeah. So just, I don't know if you can see anything. No, you can't see a thing on this. Let's have a look, see if that'll work. Put all my tools away, so just whatever I've got it now. So yeah, if I put my multimeter over there, and I think I found the problem. It's a blown fuse. So I've got some spares here. I mean, I've got them in the shed, but if I just pull that fuse out, so I'll just take this out of the holder. And sure enough, we've got a blown fuse. So I'll just try changing the fuse. If it blows again, I'm not gonna put another fuse in. You know, with these things, you only try it once. So with that fuse blown, we'll see if we've got a rear wash wipe. I've got my keys in my pocket here. So here we go. Moment of truth. Yep. We're back in business. So that was an easy fix for the rear wiper. So I'm not going to do any more tonight, and we'll see what the outcome of the MOT is tomorrow. And much to my surprise, it has failed. Nothing serious. So we've got a tracker on end, which is left hand side, near side, on a UK right hand drive car. That's failed. It was the other side that had gone. And the year before that I had to replace them both, so that left one's lasted a bit longer. And we have a worn front drop link, and bottom ball joint's gone. Problems with the parking brakes. I think what's happened is the springs that secure the shoes to the back plate, maybe one or both of them has come off. So those shoes will be a bit like a cock in a sock. So I've ordered all the necessary parts to fix that, and I'll come back to you when we're ready to fit those parts. It is the day after the test, and I've got all the bits I think I'm going to need. And I'm going to start with the parking brake on this side. The other side's fine. I don't need to touch that at all because I did adjust the shoes on that, and that seems to be working perfectly, but it's this side that's failed. So get the wheel off, get the brake caliper and the disc out. So place your bets. Well, as somebody once said, there's your problem, lady. Spring for top shoes come out. So I might just be able to put that back in. So I'll do that off camera. You don't need to see me try to get a spring in. It's actually a special tool. You know, there is a special tool to do these, but you can actually buy a similar tool on eBay and Amazon. But I'm just going to use my needle nose pliers. It does the job just as well, and I should be able to get. I need to get through the. I think I need to get through the. The wheel bolt holes on the hub. So I'll get that reinstated and see if that's fixed the problem. It was too bent to reuse, so it's a good job I bought the kit. were worth the money. And as you can see, I've put a new spring in there, and there you go. That's secure. I've checked the bottom one as well, and that's secure. That's not going anywhere. So I can get this disc put back on, and then adjust the shoes and see if that's fixed it. Hopefully it should be good for retest. So I had to take the disc off again, and I changed the bottom spring, and this spring was missing, which probably wasn't helping any. So I fitted that, so it should have a full set of springs. I've left that one well alone, that seems to be alright. So I'll try again, let's see if it'll hold with the parking brake on. Well, that extra spring did make all the difference, and I can't move it by hand, so I'm hoping that's good enough for the retest. It's not actually all that strict as a parking brake test, so it has to be really bad for it to fail. I've never had it fail on a parking brake, and I've had no end of trouble with it, constantly adjusting it. And I think the mistake I've made is when I use a parking brake, leaving it in gear when I'm stuck in traffic. So if I'm in traffic, I'll just bang it into neutral and put the parking brake on, and hopefully that shouldn't try to overcome the friction. So I'll get all this buttoned up and we'll move on to the front. Now the next job I'm going to tackle, I'm going to change this drop link. I think it's only one that failed, but I'm going to do both, and I'm going to do the big ball joint here. So I'll get the whole brake caliper off, support it, get the brake disc off, then undo these bolts here at top, and brake. I have to undo the track rod end as well at this side, because the whole thing needs to come off, and then I can swap a ball joint. Now it's easier with the whole hub assembly off the car. So I'll get that all taken apart, and then we can get this ball joint replaced. Well, the hub assembly's nearly ready to come off, and don't forget to remove the ABS sensor. It's just a 10mm bolt, and now it comes. So, but anti-roll bar drop links are fighting me, so I'm going to get back to this. I just need to pull these bolts out, break that bottom ball joint. I don't know if my ball joint puller's going to do the job. We'll find out soon enough. Because I did watch another channel, Jamie Cars, something of a serial Volvo owner down in Colorado in the USA. So I think I'll be able to get in with my ball joint splitter, so I'll be able to split that easy enough, and then just get these top bolts out, and the hub assembly's ready to come off, and I can it should be a bit easier change it ball joint rather than doing it in situ. So I'll finish off getting that, and then we can come back to you when it's ready for the new ball joint. And this one's fighting me. Probably I need a bigger ball joint separator, because I'm giving it some welly with pickle fork and sledgehammer, and it's not budging it. I've even tried a jacket suspension off, put the bolts on for the hub to strut, and one small victory, I managed to get that into the ball joint out, but this one's still fighting me. I can't find my hacksaws. They're probably somewhere in the shed, but I managed to find a hacksaw blade, so that's still an option. I mean, it's getting replaced, so it doesn't matter if I destroy it totally. So I think I might have to leave it for tonight. Well, before I pack up, I thought I'd tackle the advisory, which was this indicator being dim, and it was because of bulb. You know, because these side repeaters, they use amber bulbs rather than amber filter. I mean, that one's all right, but I think I'll change them both anyway. So that's the advisory taken care of. So it should be it should be green across the board. Come to the retest. Is the next day, and I had to get some more gas for my blowtorch because this has run out, so I couldn't try heat. I've also got me chisels out, so that'd be an option for getting the drop link off, and it's that drop link that actually failed. I'm doing both, but you know, at the same time I'm doing this ball joint. I'm hoping if I can get some heat on that lower arm, it should release that ball joint. Well, that's the hope. But I've still got other options. You know, I've got the option of just removing that control arm, that lower suspension arm. That can come out with the upper assembly. So that's another option open to me. So let's see how I get on. Progress has been made. I've managed to get the drop link off. I forgot this was a nylock nut, so you know, that top one. So blowtorch melted the nylon bit of the nut, and it come undone quite easily. I had to use my locking pliers, mold grips, whatever you want to call them, vice grips. So hopefully I have as much success with that bottom ball joint. If I get heat at bottom control arm, the idea is it should expand, and the third, you know, the tape, you know, the tape on the ball joint, it should come out as the hole expands. That's the theory anyway, so we'll see if that works. Well, this one's refusing to play ball, even with a bit of help from the blowtorch, so I'm at the point where I'm going to have to take the control arms out. So you can see I've doused stuff with a bit of WD, and then I can get this whole lot off. I managed to get it out. So your two front bolts are 17s, and I had to jack the engine up slightly to get to the rearmost one. And the other bolt, it's a 19 on the bolt head there, this one that goes there, and it's 21 on the nut, and the only way you can get to that is with a spanner. Luckily I had a 21-inch spanner and used a 19mm socket on the beast. So with all this assembly out, it's going to make my job easier. Could probably get that ball joint out of the hub assembly, you know, chisel it out, or you know, use heat. So you have a few more options, and it's 10 times easier with all this out of the car. So see if I can get these separated so I can get this ball joint changed. Finally I managed to get it separated, so that's one big step. So what I did was to get my ball joint splitter. Oh look, and the car gods have taken their dues. I sliced my left thumb, but you know, you just got to carry on regardless. So what I did was I actually cut the thread off the end, and I managed to get my ball joint separator in, just tightened it up, and then just whacked it with a hammer, and off it came. So that's one step in the direction, and this suspension arm can go straight back on the car. So I'll get that refitted, and then we can see if I get this ball joint out. I think I'll have to chisel it or grind it off or something. So yeah, I think I might be breaking out the air hammer on this one. Finally got it out. Just a bit of persistence with the hammer and chisel. Oh, and a wire brush round here as well, because I think that's where it were binding. It were binding on there. The rust was holding it, so I'll just give it a wire brush. As soon as I started whacking either side with chisel, it started to come out. So big progress. And somewhere in here should be a ball joint, and that's a tracker end which will fit at the same time. So among these parts is a Febby ball joint. So for Volvo XC90 it's 36715. That's a Febby part number. I think there's also a Volvo part number 31201485. I think that's the Volvo part number. I'd have to look it up in parts catalogue to be certain. So I'm going to clean this up with drill, and I'm going to grease it to within an inch of its life, and it'll make it easier for the next guy, which will probably be me. If I'm going to be keeping this, I'll be keeping it. I'm not planning on selling it, because you know, one car can't do everything. This is handy for towing, for taking rubbish to the tip, stuff like that, carrying heavy loads. transporting 7 people. Anyway, I'll get this cleaned up, greased, ball joint on, and we should be good. I've got it all buttoned up. New tracker end. This is the side that actually failed. So we're all done on this side of the front wheel. So just the tracker end and drop link on that side to do. But that's a job for the next day. It's getting late. It's just gone 8:10, so I really need to stop. Because I'm working up, I'm obviously fixing my car at home. I've got to have consideration for the neighbours. It's the next day, and we should be on the home straight with these MoT repairs. There's only one failure left, and it's the tracker end on this side. I'm going to change the drop link as well, because I always do drop links in pairs. So I've obviously had to turn it round so I'm not working in the wet weather. It's been wet, as you can tell. So get this wheel off, and it should be a straightforward job. If I'm struggling to get those nuts out at tracker end, I've got the blowtorch. If the nylock nuts, which I think there will be. So I'll get that done. I've done them jobs before on camera, so I'll just show you the end result. I've got the tracker end and the drop link out. That wasn't too bad. I had to use a blowtorch on the nylock nuts. So top tip, if you've got nylock nuts that won't undo, and you're replacing the part in question, you don't need to reuse the nuts. Just use a blowtorch to melt the nylon out, because that's a bit that grips on the nut. So I've got my new tracker end, whatever you want to call it, tie rod end, as our American cousins call it. I think this one, I'm not sure if it's a bit, let's have a look, I'll line it up. Definitely the right part. It's a bit shorter. So my alignment's going to be out, it's got to be done anyway, so probably half a turn should bring it to within, because there's no point counting the turns on the thread, because it's a different length. I've lined up the ball joint bit. I think that's pretty much in line. Yep. And you can see the bit. I'll show you better with screw. No, show you better with a spanner. You can see the difference there. So there's a few. Hang on, just get it lined up. Yeah, quite a bit of a difference actually. So alignment's going to be out. So I'll get that sorted. Like I said, it's got to go in for alignment, and I'll do a 4-wheel alignment this time. I usually use my local Quick Fit. They've been quite good. I've done my Merc a couple of times. So I'll get these parts on, and then it's ready to go back in for the retest. So that's everything buttoned up, and it's ready for the retest. So I'll grease these to get some white grease on there. Make it easy for the next guy and alignment guy when it comes to do the alignment. And as I said, I'll come back to you when it goes in for retest. Today's Saturday, so it's booked in for Monday afternoon. So come end of working day on Monday, should have a fresh MOT. Unfortunately, the saga continues. So I took it round to the MOT station, and I didn't even bother testing it. They said the parking brake's still not right. So the only thing left can be the shoes. I've got them ordered, and also the bottom ball joint. So the nut's not all the way in. So what I'm going to try is reinstate the original bolt, which is a flange bolt, and see if that fixes that problem. I have run it around a bit, so it's all settled. So I'll try swapping that bottom ball joint nut out, see if that does the trick. Now, I'm a great believer in never throw anything away. So here's the nut off the old ball joint. You think, 21mm XZ, you think it'd be the same thread, but it's not. Slight difference in the thread. So I just what I did was I just nipped up the nut that's on there, and I managed to get it a bit further. And I think it's taking taken up that. There must have been a bit of play in it. So it just needed nipping up, and thank God for the impact. Other job of doing 10 times harder. So these impacts are an absolute game changer. So that's one thing I hope is taken care of. And then it'll be tomorrow when I fit new parking brake shoes. In the continuation of this saga, I'm going to be changing the parking brake shoes. I've got them here somewhere among these tools now. I've been working on a renewal Clio, which set me back a day, but so I'll use the rest of that spring kit. Might as well fit all the new springs. And here's our parking brake shoes. Just get these up and make sure look to be the right ones. I don't have a knife with me, so I have to use the next best thing, which is a flat bladed screwdriver. Right, get a small flat bladed screwdriver, that should do it. And then I'll just put the camera down. Can't do this one-handed. No, it does say if it's Volvo XC90 from 2002 to 2014, which covers the production of the P2 based XC90. Right, we're in. Oh yes, the good ones now. They should have a chamfered edge there, top and bottom, same as the genuine Volvo one. So, yep, they look to be the right part. So, I'll start on the side, which seems to be the weaker side, which is this side, because I think the shoes were a bit more worn, and I need to adjust. Got to adjust the cable as well. I forgot to do that last time I adjusted the parking brakes. I'll need to adjust the cable, and I've shown that in previous videos, because there's two types of parking brake. There's the automatic adjusting one, which early XC90s have, or there's one where the cable's manually adjustable just to the left of the centre console. So I'll need to adjust that at some point. So anyway, I'll get these shoes changed. Getting the old shoes wasn't too difficult. I found the best order of operations was to first remove these springs, top and bottom, the securing springs, and then lever the adjuster out. Now normally XC90s have just a fixed H piece, but I decided to fit adjustable ones because I think they only work with the with the genuine Volvo shoes. So let's have a look. I think that. So, and then after I've got that out, just lift it off, and there's the part of the mechanism that the cable operates on. It's supposed to spread it out and push the shoes against the inside of the disc, which acts like a drum brake. So we'll just get these new shoes out. We'll do a bit of a comparison. I'll just put the camera down because there's only so much you can do with one hand. So these, and we'll just do a bit of a comparison. I'll do a bit of a comparison. Let's have a look. That's a bottom one. I think they're symmetrical. Because I'm just doing a quick. I think they are actually. Yeah, they appear to be symmetrical. So it doesn't matter which one. I think they're all identical. Yeah, they're identical. So that's a clever idea. But yeah, I'd say there's definitely been some wear on these, and just put two side by side. And anyway, I'm fitting new brake shoes. I'm also gonna make sure that's not that's not sticking. Sure, that's all operating freely. Actually, I think that's stuck. I think that's a real reason. Yeah. So make sure that's all freed up. I think I might have identified the root cause, but I thought, well, put new parking brake shoes on anyway. Get it 100%. And I think I've actually identified the root cause of the brakes not working properly. But you know, new shoes. And MoT man says that you can see the cable operate, so I don't think there's anything wrong with the cable itself. I mean, unfortunately, I can't really verify that, but I'll clean all this up and free it off, and then we should be all 100%, and then get these shoes installed, and then start adjusting everything. So this piece actually comes out; it just hooks into end of parking brake cable, but it was definitely stuck and out loose as anything. So that can go back in, and I can get the new shoes on. There's probably nothing wrong with old ones, but new shoes are peace of mind. You know, should I decide to move the XC90 on, which is always a possibility. I don't use it all that much. In fact, I did about 6,000 miles since last MoT, so that's how much I've used it. You know, the Mercedes pretty much become the daily driver. Anyway, I'll get this all put back together, and we'll adjust shoes on this side once I've got the disc back on, and I can move on to the other side. It's basically, you know, rinse and repeat. Well, that's the new shoes on with all the new springs. So don't think that's gonna go anywhere. So put the disc on, adjust it up, and that's that basically done. I need to adjust the cable as well. So I'll get this all back together, and then, like I said earlier on, rinse and repeat on the other side. So it's another day later, and it's still not right. I mean, to be fair to my MoT man, I didn't do an actual retest. He just checked to see if the parking brake was going to pass. He just put it on his rollers, and still no go. So, you know, I thought I was at my wit's end, but I'm not going to give up that easily. So, you know, new shoes, new springs. Well, I don't even know if they're in the right place, but one thing I'm going to try is reinstate these H pieces that go there, and that's what Volvo originally had. So that's got to be worth a try. I've got the disc off now, so I'll give it a go. Nothing to lose except my sanity, and I think I've already lost that. So I'll clean these up. I've got my drill with brush attachment, and these have been rusting away in the shed for 4 years. So it's a good thing I don't throw anything away, because you never know when you're going to need it. And that little philosophy is now paid off. So I managed to get it all fitted and back together without too much trouble. That feels a bit loose, so I'll just make sure that's on. No, it definitely feels loose. But you know what you do is you just take a pair of needle nose and pull out the spring when it decides to cooperate. You take that out, and then you've got room to lift the adjuster piece out, and then fit the H piece. And also this return spring, it fouls this, so that could have been causing problems. So I'll make sure this top shoe securing springs in place, and then we should be good. So that's the brakes all buttoned up. So rinse and repeat on the other side, and then adjust the cable as per Ainsley factory manuals, and then see if that's made any difference. The next job is to adjust this parking brake cable down there. So somewhere I pulled off this circlip, and there's a groove. What you do is you screw this one clockwise until the cable's released, which it is. Then you screw it back. See if I can do it with one hand, and you should see the groove for the circlip. might be a bit difficult to show this, but you just screw this out until you see the groove for the circlip. There it is. And then refit the circlip, try make sure you don't lose it. Line it up and refit this clip. It's a bit difficult with gloves. Let's see. Now just refit the circlip, and now with pliers you just pull this bit out and you'll hear it. You'll hear a few clicks. So what I'm going to do is do it this way. You can hear one click, and you just keep doing that until the adjustment's correct, and it should hold on. Is it 2nd to 5th notch? It should. The parking brake should hold between 2 and 5 notches on the pedal. And I've just realised I've forgotten something. Before you do all this, you're supposed to have the parking brake on 1 notch before you make the adjustment. So I'm making all the mistakes, so you don't have to. So I'm going to have to do this all over again, but I think that shows you how you make the adjustment. So I'm going to start that all over again, pull the clip out, rotate this clockwise until this cable's released. Can't do it with one hand, because I'll risk of losing that circlip, which is not fun. So I'll come back to you when I've done the parking brake adjustment. Well, I might as well show you. I'd pull the circlip out, so you screw this in. Until this bit's here released. So screw it all clockwise. Again, I'm struggling to do this with one hand. And there we go. I think I've released this completely. I think I have. And then it's put the parking brake on 1 notch. There we go, 1 click on the parking brake. Then unscrew this until you can see the groove for the circlip, which is about there. No, I just need to unscrew it a little bit more. There we go. I think that should do it. Refit the circlip. No, still a bit more. I said, I don't want to go too far. So I think there we go, that's in. And then start adjusting it outwards. Ian says to use pliers to push against there, that bit and that bit, but I don't know if that's going to work for me. I mean, this is supposed to be the correct way of doing it, and really it's a two-handed job. But I suppose whichever works. There's no real right or wrong, unless you seriously do some damage. Right, I'll continue adjusting this parking brake and see where we're at. Right, I think I've got it to where it's going to be able to pass. I won't know until tomorrow, so we'll find out. And if it's not going to pass the retest, I think I'm going to have to turn this over to a specialist. But cross that bridge if we get to it. Well, that work on the parking brakes was worth it, and as you can see, it's past the MoT, so this saga is finally over. We saw it for another year. Now, it's new shoes, so they might need time to bed in, because the tester did say it did just about pass. So I think I'll leave it for now. I might turn it over to, I might get a specialist to look at it, but I think just let the parking brake shoes bed in. So that's the end of this video. Hope you enjoyed it. As ever, thanks for watching, and I'll see you.